We have a lot of people on the call on the meeting tonight, so very excited to have everyone here. So hello everyone, and welcome to Spiritual Frontiers Fellowship of North Carolina's live stream event on December 3rd, 2020. Now, Spiritual Frontiers is a nonprofit volunteer-run organization. My name is Susan Hunter, and I'm the chairperson and program coordinator for SFF. SFF has been established for 47 years, and we have been shining a light into the metaphysical community since 1973. We are an organization that has met in person once a month to sponsor a speaker until last March. And then in August, we moved forward with the Zoom platform, which has expanded our audience. So we are very happy. We know there are people from many parts of the globe here tonight. This is an exciting time to be on the board of directors. We are very active on our social media, so check out our YouTube, Meetup, Facebook, and Instagram pages. Please like, share, and subscribe. We do depend and appreciate your generous donations. So maybe during the break or when you have time, you're welcome to go, if you haven't already, go to spiritual-frontiers.com where you can make your donation for tonight's event. And thank you ahead of time. If you want to receive our constant contact e-flyer to remind you of our events, you can sign up for that on the website as well. Now is a great time to find more ways to connect with others and to serve. SFF is offering opportunities for you to do both. We have openings for people to volunteer on the SFF board in several ways. Serving on the board is fun and rewarding as members work together behind the scenes to make SFF's inspiring monthly meetings available to our metaphysical community. So consider joining the SFF Board of Directors in the following roles, or if you have a special gift that you think would benefit our group, you're welcome to let us know that as well. But what we need specifically now is a social media coordinator to help grow our social media presence, program coordinator to help find inspirational speakers, but also the board helps find speakers and give suggestions as well. And then the Zoom coordinator to help run our virtual events. All this will include training, so you don't have to come knowing it all. We will train you for these positions. And again, if there's something else you'd like to contribute to our organization, just let us know. You're welcome to email me, Susan Hunter, at chairman@spiritual-frontiers.com. With all of our lectures, as with any information you receive, we ask that you use your own discernment to find the truth that resonates for you. Share, screen. So now I'm going to talk about the upcoming events. So Thursday, January 7th, 2021, Catherine Zola Allen will talk about astrological aspects for 2021 and using astrology to empower your life. Now, Catherine comes highly recommended by Philip Young, who is a popular SFF speaker and master astrologer in our area. Catherine has lived in many parts of California most of her life and has traveled the world. She moved to North Durham from California a year ago after receiving intuitive guidance to do so. We are happy to introduce her to our community. Thursday, February 4th, 2021, Suzette Faith Foster will speak to us about navigating these unique times while awakening from separation and suffering. Suzette some of y'all may know her. She used to live in Cary for many years and is now living in Boone. She has an international virtual healing and coaching practice. Now, Suzette has a very interesting story to tell on her spiritual growth path. So I'm going to read just something from her book, just to kind of explain what happened to her and her story. In 2005, I sustained the same kind of severe spinal cord injury as the late Christopher Reeve. Like Reeve, I was totally paralyzed and stopped breathing. Without immediate EMS support, my doctor said I should have died immediately. Then, after surgery, he expected me to remain a quadriplegic. I credit being alive and fully functioning to my consistent practice and belief in powerful healing capacity of the mind, body, and spirit principles. Her book that gives a lot more information about her experience and practices is called Calling Back Your Power. And I highly recommend that book. And she'll be speaking to us in February. So SFF, so we have some other things coming up, but you're welcome to go to our website if you need more information about any of our upcoming events. So SFF would like to thank Sagewood Healing Center in Raleigh for their support for our broadcasts. So a little housekeeping, there will be a short break about halfway through Marcia's presentation, and near the end, we may have a short pause before we have the live Q&A session with Marcia. Marcia will be answering questions at the end for about the last 10 or 15 minutes of this evening. We will use the chat box only to allow to submit questions at that time, and everyone will be muted for her talk, and the chat box will not be on until at the end. So if you have a question during her talk, you're welcome to jot it down. If it's not answered during her talk, you're welcome to submit it at the end. So thank you for joining us tonight, and we're very excited, especially for the people who are coming here for the first time. So it is my pleasure to introduce Marcia McCullum Hebrank, also known as Moon. So clairvoyant, clairaudient, and clairsentient since childhood, Moon is grateful to be lovingly supported by her own angels and spirit guardians. Through a series of transformative events, Moon's connections with the divine have deepened and led to a lifetime of learning, healing, and teaching about the angels and the spiritual realm. Moon maintains that heaven is indeed a place on earth, and that our true purpose on the planet at this time is to be the messengers of love and light for one another and our world. Trained as a psychotherapist, Moon worked for many years in the mental health and hospice field, where her intuition and spiritual connections quietly guided her on a daily basis with her clients. And she will be speaking more about that in her talk. She has taken classes over the years with many well-known teachers, which include Doreen Virtue, Hank Wesselman, Charles Virtue, Brian Weiss, Michael Harner, and the Foundation for Shamanic Studies, Vicki Penninger, Diana Henderson, Mary Phyllis Horn, Linda Howe, and many others. It is Moon's belief that each and every one of us possesses within us the innate skills and abilities to receive and act upon wise spiritual guidance from our guides, angels, and spirit. Marcia actually is a host of a weekly online metaphysical radio show called Spiritual Awakenings. And she's doing a lot of things. So for all of her information, please go to her website. Her website is onelightcenter.com. So that's the word one, O-N-E, light, L-I-G-H-T, center.com. So it is my honor and pleasure to introduce Marcia Hebrank. And here she is. Yeah, so let's see. Marcia, if you just unmute yourself, that would be great. There we go. And thanks again for coming, everyone.
Hello, everybody. It's great to see some familiar faces and see some new faces too. I've been looking forward to this for a while now. So it's really, really great to be with all of you. I'm used to teaching about the angels and about shamanism in a circle, in a group. And so even though all of us are in different places, some of us in different states, we are still all connected by virtue of being here together and really sharing this interest in the angels. So I'd like for us now to, with our consciousness, connect with each other by bringing our hands up to the screen. And if you can please Have your real face up there, please. A few of you, I'm just seeing pictures of you, but you're so beautiful, all of you. So bring your hands up to the screen and allow your hand to connect with the hand of someone else in this group, your left hand. And now bring your right hand and allow that right hand to connect with someone else in the group as well. And let's close our eyes and let's feel our connection. We are connected outside of all space and all time. This is a group of light workers, a group of earth angels here for divine purpose. And feel all the angels around us. All of our guardian angels and the archangels are here to love and support us tonight. And know that you are supported, you are loved, you are cared for. And feel that connection with this group. This is a group of people who are filled with love and light. And now let's bring our hands down to our sides and face our palms upward. And allow your left hand, that palm on your left, to connect with the palm of the person to your left in the circle. And allow your right hand, that palm, to connect with the palm of the person on your right in this circle. And feel the oneness, feel the connection that all of us have together tonight. We're here together to be blessed by the angels, to learn and to grow and to release and to heal and to receive. Just allow yourself to receive that beautiful connection. A lot of healers here, beautiful healing energy. Wonderful. Awesome. I tend to like to start pretty much anything I do with that exercise because, you know, the internet is an amazing tool. It's not quite the same as being together, you know, in a big room, but it's pretty awesome. It really is. So I want to share with you to start off the night a beautiful prayer, if you will. And this comes from Kyle Gray, who is an angel teacher. He's Scottish, and he's quite fabulous. If you haven't read his books, I recommend him to you. But this is a prayer called Call to the Archangels. And let's right now just close our eyes for a moment and allow ourselves just to center and take a long, slow, deep, easy breath in, releasing all the cares of the day. On your in-breath, breathing in peace and serenity. And on your out-breath, breathe out any stress, any tension, any worries. Breathing in love and light. On the out-breath, breathing out anything that remains that you may need to let go of. Breathe it right on out to the angels. Dear source of love, thank you for entering our hearts where you already abide. We now allow the light of our souls to be activated to shine bright. Thank you, angels, for descending upon this space at this present moment, and with your love, allowing miracles to unfold. In the direction north, I welcome Archangel Uriel, the angel of light and inspiration, to hold this space with his loving presence. Thank you, Uriel, for guiding our intuition, our creativity, and our capacity to light up. In the direction east, we welcome Archangel Raphael, the angel of healing and of sacred vision, to nurture this space with his light. Thank you, Archangel Raphael, for helping us to clearly see love and for unleashing your sacred healing rays within our hearts. In the direction south, we welcome Archangel Michael, the angel of strength and protection, to keep this space and everyone within safe. Thank you, Michael, for bringing your sword of light to cut any cords of fear from our hearts and from this space, so that we can reveal the truest aspects of ourselves. In the direction west, we welcome Archangel Gabriel, the angel of mothers and of truth, for bringing the light of integrity, freedom, and love to this space. Thank you, Gabriel, for allowing our souls to be lifted by your most sacred and nurturing light, so that we can share our truth with the world. This space is held, created, and loved. Thank you, angels, for descending upon this space and for reminding the world of your presence. We set this intention together, that you are here for the highest good of all. It feels so good to know that you are present with us now. And so it is. Amen. So one thing I really would love for you guys to remember about the angels, and I know we've got people from all different levels of experience here. I see some of my students in this group. It's so exciting. I see clients, I see friends, I see family. The angels are here for each and every one of us. They are beings of absolute love and light. They are not connected necessarily to any particular religious ideology or practices, okay? Although they're mentioned in some different spiritual texts, including the Bible. You do not have to be a religious person to work with the angels, okay? You just have to be a person. The angels are here for us. We are their job. They do not need to be worshiped. They don't really even need to be prayed to. They only need to be summoned. They need to be asked to come and help us. And with a few exceptions, unless we ask them to help us, you know, they'll kind of stay out of our way. They might be kind of in the periphery, kind of keeping an eye on us. But, you know, unless we ask them, here's my little Siamese cat, by the way. She's liable to show up here on the screen. And unless we ask them, you know, they'll stay in the background, with the exception of our guardian angels. And I'll talk about them in a little bit. So one of the most important things to remember from tonight is ask and you shall receive. When there's something that you need, okay, the best thing you can do is ask for help. And this is one of the big messages that the angels wanted me to bring to everybody tonight. right now on the planet, this year of 2020, it has been a crazy year. Cancel, cancel, cancel. It has been a year filled with a lot of surprises, some of them, really hard. And people have experienced loss of loved ones and jobs and homes and businesses and all kinds of things. And the angels want me to really bring it home to you very deeply right now that they've been around for a long time. They've been here since humanity came to this planet. But this time that we're in right now, okay, and this time coming into next year, 2021, they are here for us and they have our backs. And they really want us to work with them. They want to have tight connections with every single one of us. And so I'm going to do my best tonight to talk with you about some of the ways that they can help you and how you can kind of work with them and call them in and so on. But the big thing to remember is you don't have to remember which angel you need for which thing, okay? It's nice to learn about all the different ones, but if you get in a jam and you need some help, all you have to do is say, angels, please come and help me. You can say it out loud. If you say it out loud, to me, it's better than ever. It really gets it out there to them, and they love hearing you ask them for help. But if you are somewhere and you can't say it out loud, just say it in your head. Communicate it to them from your mind to their mind. You don't have to ask for Michael, although Michael is great. He's good with almost everything. Just say angels, okay? This is a very, very unique time. And a lot of us felt this year coming. Raise your hand if you felt this 2020 year kind of weird stuff, coming. We knew there was something, we didn't know what, but we knew that it was going to be a challenge, and challenge it is. But we've got an incredible team, all of us, every single one of us. And don't ever forget it, not for a minute. All you need to do is quiet your mind, close your eyes, ask for help, allow yourself to listen, be in the silence, connect with them, and they will be there for you. Don't overthink it, okay? It's not about thinking, although sometimes angels will bring thoughts into your mind. That's called claircognizance. But that kind of titter thinking, that we do, throw that out. That doesn't help us. Sometimes it helps to even kind of, do a quick little meditation or a little kind of relaxing your body kind of thing. And that will help you, to be in the space to connect with them more easily. But they're not hard to connect with, certainly not. So let me tell you who I am just a little bit. I was born in Southern Illinois in a little bitty small town of 1,005 people or something like that, Louisville, Illinois. Place full of farmland, a lot of farmers, people working hard there, and big piece of land that my family, owned and went back, a couple generations, and it was beautiful trees and wonderful place to grow up in all kinds of ways. And when I was little, I would talk to my guardian angel, and I would see her. And she told me her name. Her name is Celeste. She's still with me. I did not know when I was a little girl that Celeste was a word, a name that kind of tied in with celestial, which angels are very celestial. But I could see her just like I'm seeing you guys with my eyes open. And she would come and we would have these conversations. And I could hear her with my ears and see her with my eyes. And it was absolutely wonderful. And she helped me so much. There were times that I would struggle with things and she would just pop in. She would show up at exactly the right time. to be there to support me. And that's what guardian angels do. That's what they're all about. I also, when I was a child and going on up beyond that, I would see folks who were deceased. I would see them kind of hanging out with other people and things like that. A lot of you guys who are here, I know, have had similar experiences. When we're kids, no one has told us yet that we can't see things like that. No one has said to you, you can't see angels and you can't see, you know, folks who are deceased, who are in spirit. Deceased is kind of a misnomer to me, really. You know, our soul it never stops being, it just takes a different form. When I was a kid, I would have dreams about people passing away before they passed away. It would be like a 2-week interval, and I would see them in a coffin, and it scared me, you know, and then the person would pass. And what I eventually found out later on, much later on, was that the angels were preparing me for those losses, and so that I wasn't devastated by them and like totally shocked and surprised in a bad way. So they were taking care of me, but it made me scared to go to sleep, you know, because I didn't want to see anybody like that in their coffins. I would have dreams of things that were going to happen before they happened. And again, those happenings, they were warnings often, you know, they're precognition, but they were to give me some kind of sense of like being able to protect myself or make a wise decision, or, you know, whatever the case may be. I always felt different, like a lot of you right here in the room, I believe probably had that. Yeah, I've seen the hands go up on that. I remember one time sitting on the playground with one of my friends, and someone had said something about, oh, she's weird. You know, I heard someone say it. And my best friend, I had the same best friend all the way through school, and she was so fun. And I said to her, do you think I'm weird? And she said, well, you're weird in a really good way. And that kind of made me feel good, you know, that was good for me. And then, you know, one time I asked her, I said, why do people keep coming up to me and asking me questions on the playground? They would just come up and they'd say, well, I like so-and-so, do you think she likes me? And I would kind of look over at the person and look at them, and I'd say, no, she doesn't like you, you know, or you probably broke some hearts saying those things. But, you know, so I asked my friend, I said, why do people keep asking me all these questions? And my friend said, well, it's because you know the answers. And I said, well, I really don't know the answers. You know, they're telling me. And it was the angels, you know, would kind of guide me. I also saw fairies when I was a kid. How many of you guys saw fairies? I still see fairies. You know, it was beautiful. We had a little creek that was out on our land it actually was stream fed, you know, spring fed, excuse me. And there were these little water sprites, and I would just kind of sit there and I would just watch them. And they were so beautiful and golden, you know, glistening, glittery. And my mother would say, what are you doing over there? You know, but by and large, my family put up with me very well. They knew I was different. I'm pretty sure they did. I had one of my favorite uncles who passed away, sadly, of lung cancer. His daughter told me a couple of years ago, she said, you know, my dad told me one time we were at a family picnic and you were sitting over by the lake, and we were all over there, you know, eating and stuff, and you were by the lake and you were watching, you were looking out over that lake. And I said, why do you think Marcia is looking out over that lake the way she is? And my uncle said to her, well, Marcia is a mystic. And I said, well, gosh, I wish someone had told me that, because I had no idea. Wouldn't have known what that meant, you know, and she didn't know what it meant. So she asked him and he told her. But, you know, our world is different when we grow up being the way we are. I'm definitely a light worker. It was a natural thing for me to end up being a therapist. A lot of us have, you know, we fell into careers where we were able to help others. And one of the things I want to tell you about earth angels, there's lots of earth angels in this room. Earth angels love to help others. You know, that's what we're all about. And one of the most important things to remember, though, when you're an earth angel, you got to make sure that there's enough of you left to go around. Because if we give and give and do for others, which is a beautiful thing, it's a blessed thing, and the angels love it. But you've got to make sure there's enough of you to go around. You've got to rest. You've got to nurture yourself. You've got to be in the silence, be in nature, take good care of you too. And this is, earth angels get burned out, so we have to be careful about that. Earth angels often have difficult childhood for various reasons. Dysfunctional families. Now, I don't think there's too many families that don't have some kind of dysfunction, but after 20 years being a therapist, I haven't seen very many quote unquote normal families. But what happens is that we come from a very expansive place into this physical form that we're in this body, and our beautiful old guardian angel comes in with us and is there from day one with us our whole life. It's so wonderful how they do this. And those challenging circumstances that we're born into create the opportunity for us to learn and grow and really learn about this earth school that we're in, so that we can eventually step into that role of being helpers to others, whatever kind of helper that may be. It might be being a lawyer, it might be being a counselor, it might be being a policeman or a fireman or a nurse. But earth angels are very giving and very loving and very caring. And I see a lot of them here. So it's beautiful to be with you guys. Couple more things, I guess, to tell you about me. So I worked in addictions treatment with women for UNC Chapel Hill. I worked in child and family therapy out in the mountains and then out at the beach. And my last job that I had about 7.5 years, I worked for hospice, and I worked with the dying and with their families, more of it with the dying themselves, people who were dying. And I learned a whole lot while I did that job. And I'll tell you a little story about that in a little bit. But I learned so much about the resilience of the human spirit. And I wouldn't have been ready for that type of work when I first started my career. Absolutely not. It's deep heart work, and it's hard, when you've gotten used to someone and you see them pass away. Then what happened to me was my mother was terminally ill, and the doctor gave her about a year. And you know how the doctors will do that. Oh, she probably got a year, My mother and I had a very deep relationship, even though part of our lives we lived in different places. And I would talk to her on the phone almost every day. And she was just really, just like a part of my soul family, really, really deeply. And so when she became ill, she moved in with us. She lived with my family for about 5.5 years. And the last 2 years, so the doctors gave her a year and she lived 2. And one of my aunts said that I loved her so much that she just wasn't ready to go. Now, I don't know, but she loved my children. I had 2 young children, and she absolutely was crazy about them and had a wonderful time with them, even though she didn't feel good. And so during the 2 years that she was quite ill, I stopped working as a therapist and stayed home with her, and ended up having to care for her like you would care for a baby. So bathing her and dressing her and all that, making her meals, eventually had to feed her and everything. And it was really hard, but I learned so much, and I got so much, really a deeper relationship with her through that time than I ever thought possible. It was absolutely incredible. And so during those times, I began to meditate more. And I want to encourage you guys to meditate. I know we've got some meditators in this room. I'm feeling that energy. Meditation is the number one most wonderful tool for enlightenment and overall health. But I was meditating. We had this little space on the house, kind of a sunroom. And I would go out into that sunroom, and I had a rug there, and I would just sit and just be in the silence. And amazing things began to happen. I was waking up, and it felt really, really good, even though I was going through this loss, day after day, kind of the pre-grieving loss of my mom. And I began to have visions when I would meditate sometimes, and I would receive messages and things, and it was just beautiful. And what I discovered during that period was that when I would take care of my mom, my hands would get really, really, really warm. And I remember that when I was a child, when the pets were ill, I would hold them and I would close my eyes and I would ask God to heal them. And just, anybody, the neighbors' pets or my own, our family, we had 17 cats, believe it or not, lots of dogs. And so I grew up with a lot of animals around me. But same thing happened with my mom. When I would turn her in the bed and things like that, my hands would just go off and be so hot. And my mom said to me, your hands feel really good. There's something good about them. So I decided that, once she transitioned, I was going to figure out what was going on with my hands. I had absolutely no idea. And so she transitioned. I was with her when she passed. I was able to see her beautiful little spirit go up, and we had opened the window, and she just literally drifted up and out the open window. And as my mother's spirit went out, there were two snowbirds. She passed on December the 1st. There were two snowbirds, and one on either side of her flew off with her as like this little escort. And she had always loved birds so much. So it was a really, really beautiful thing. It just, even though it was a hard moment, it was a very tender and beautiful moment as well. And in part because I knew she was ready to go. She was 85. So after she transitioned, I went back to my meditation. I didn't feel like I could even work for a little while. I eventually got a part-time job, and then later on went back full-time. But one of my deep decisions was I was going to find out what this thing was about my hands, and was there some kind of healing that I was supposed to do with them. So I decided I would ask Spirit, I would ask Source. And so I went into a meditation in my little sunroom, and I put an intention out there. And I said, Great Spirit, please show me my teacher. Now be careful what you ask for, because you will probably get it. So what happened was I drifted up into the clouds, and here is this beautiful woman's face, blonde hair, these swirls of color around her, kind of purple and kind of dark aqua, and just a lovely aura. And I was like, oh my gosh, who in the world is this? And, that was it. That's all I got. But I was happy for it. I was showing my teacher because that's what I asked for. So then I milled around and I thought about it. And at this point, I had never even heard of Reiki. I didn't know what it was. And 2 weeks later, I was led to go and do another meditation and ask Spirit to show me my teacher again and ask for a little bit more information. So I went into my sunroom, I went into a meditation again, and I asked Great Spirit, please show me my teacher and give me a little more information so I can find her. I knew it was a female, that was all I knew, and that she was pretty, So went up, drifted up into the clouds again. Here's this same woman with these swirls of color around her, blonde hair, pale skin. And then I get one sentence. Today is the day. clear as day, male voice, today is the day. And so I thought, well, what in the world does that mean? So I said, okay, thank you, And I came out of that meditation and I had this little magazine called The Interchange. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. It's not in print anymore, but it was a beautiful little magazine. I had picked it up somewhere and I got that magazine. I sat down at the dining room table and I opened it up. And right where I opened it up, my eyes fell to this one place on this one page. And there was a tiny little ad. Now it was probably about that kind of size, really, really little. And it said Reiki Open House, second Wednesday of the month, 6:30 p.m., whatever the time was. I don't remember the time. And all of a sudden I realized, oh my God, this is the second Wednesday of the month. And it was in Raleigh. I was living in Hillsborough. I didn't want to drive to Raleigh, but then I thought, well, is this like a coincidence or what is this? This is pretty amazing. So synchronicity, by the way, is one of the ways the angels will communicate with you. So there was a synchronicity. I got that message, and then here it is, the second Wednesday of the month. So I showed up in Raleigh for this Reiki open house, and it happened to be with a lady named Vicki Penninger. Now, I know we've got other students of Vicki Penninger in here besides me. She's a beautiful soul, wonderful, wonderful being of light. And when I walked in, she came over and gave me this big hug, and she said, I've been waiting for you. And I looked up behind her, and on the wall was a soul portrait of her that was done by a painter named Arthur Douay. And that soul portrait was exactly what I had seen in my meditation, both of those times, exactly what I had seen. So she was younger when she had it done. So she looked, a little bit older, but like it was definitely her. And so that's how I got started in metaphysical work, was being led to her by that meditation. And the angels have just, they just keep bringing these miracles in my life. From that point on, everything fell into place. And so I took Reiki with her. So that was in January. Took Reiki with her in like February, level 1. Then I took level 2 later on, and then master and master teacher level. And as I was working in the classes with other students, I began to notice that I would see things. And I'd see like a little video clip of someone's past lives when I've had my hands on them, and I was trying to just focus, and focus and not focus, just kind of be in the presence. And these little blips, these little movies of people's past lives would go by. And so I would ask my teacher, what's going on with this? Is this okay? Is this normal? And she'd say, yes, it's fine, And then I would see people's spirit animals, their power animals, and oh, this person had a wolf and that person had a bear. And then I would begin to see things in the body, and I would feel things in my own body when I had my hands on people, and that would tell me where to go to do the work. And so my teacher said, well, you're probably a medical intuitive, so you need to train in that. And then at one point she said, well, you're probably a shamanic person and you need to train in that. And so it was like opening up a beautiful umbrella, kind of upside down, just opening up that umbrella of choices, of things to learn, of things to do. And every single one that I did, I absolutely loved it. Now, I loved being a therapist. Being a therapist was cool. And it made me happy. And I would come home at the end of the day and feel like I had done some good in the world. But when I started putting my hands on people, saying a prayer, calling in angels, putting the hands on the body, closing my eyes, angels started showing up for the sessions. Now we've got Reiki practitioners and healing touch practitioners, all kinds of folks in here. You guys know what I'm talking about. When you set an intention, you put that prayer out there, you close your eyes, you've called them in, they start showing up and they come in and they help heal that person. And that's what started happening. And I was like, whoa, who are these angels? Oh my gosh. And so when I first started working with them like this, I didn't realize that I could ask them questions. Um, in the Bible where it says, be not afraid, it talks about how when the angel comes in, people, I guess, are freaked out. The angel, first thing the angel says is, be not afraid. They're like warning people, I'm not a big, bad, scary thing, even though I look big. And the angels can look pretty big and feel pretty big to us. But I was kind of daunted, by their presence and not sure, what to do, not sure how to act or what to say, or if I could say anything to them. And so eventually what happened is that I began to study shamanism with a teacher named David Weatherly, who was from Virginia Beach. And my Reiki master teacher, Vicky, dragged me to his class and said, you've got some kind of connection with shamanic work and you need to learn about that. Now, I had no idea. I had a lot of negative ideas about shamanism. I didn't understand it. And so I went to that class. We learned how to journey. I absolutely loved it. All of my helpers were there in the journey. They introduced themselves. It was beautiful. So I began to study with him. He would come to this area every couple months and teach a class. And it was fabulous. Eventually, I wanted to learn soul retrieval. And so I studied with another shamanic teacher named Mary Phyllis Horn. And I know we probably got some of her students in the audience. She was a wonderful soul. I feel her kind of looking down right now on us and smiling. She was very fond of Spiritual Frontiers Fellowship. She was a lovely human being. I got to know her pretty well. So Mary Phyllis, when I told her I wanted to learn soul retrieval, she said, well, you've got to learn about the upper world. So I had only been working with the animals, with the spirit helpers. And so I took her upper world shamanism class. And on the first journey that we did, when you go to the upper world, it's very different than, the place where the animals are. And so I journeyed and I got there successfully and, I was a little nervous. And I arrived in the upper world and there were all these angels there, scads of them. And each one told me what they did. They gave me their name and they told me what they did. And I could see them just clear as day. They were so beautiful. And so I came back from that journey and I was very like, oh my gosh, I've got to write all this stuff down. I don't want to, miss any of it. So I got my piece of paper and I was just writing and trying to remember everything. And Mary Phyllis asked the class afterwards, to share about their journey. And so, everybody else shared and I didn't share. I was still writing, and trying to listen, but writing at the same time. And so I just didn't share. And so then at the break, Mary Phyllis came over to me and she said, how did your journey go? Because, I think maybe she was worried, because I didn't share. And I said, well, Mary Phyllis, there were all these angels that were there. And I don't really know anything about angels except that they've been showing up at my healing sessions. But all these angels came and they told me their names and they told me what they do and how they're going to help people. And she looked at my notebook and she looked at me and her mouth dropped open. And she said, Marcia, these are archangels. And every one of them does exactly what they told you they're going to do to help people. And she said, you've got something going on with angels. There's something different about you. And I was like, whoa, okay, well, thank you. Not sure what to make of that. But I have done a lot of upper world shamanic work. So my early work with angels, in addition to them coming into Reiki sessions and medical intuitive sessions, was shamanic in nature. I would journey for someone to bring back a part of their soul that was lost during trauma. Or I would journey for someone, to help them with, releasing things from their body that didn't belong there and things like that. And the angels, would pop on in and help, and they still do. So a lot of early influence with shamanic work with angels. And the angels are all over the place. There are so many different types of healing that we do that the angels come in and help us with. There is one of our students who, my husband is right beside me here. If you see me looking over at him, his name is Jack, and he is wonderful, and he is trained in everything that I'm trained in. There was one of our students who took angel intuition and healing from us and in the advanced class, and he is a surgeon, and he does orthopedic surgeries. And so every time he does a surgery now, he calls in the angels. In particular, he calls in Raphael and Michael and, some others. So doesn't matter what you do, they can help you. They absolutely can and will. So I kind of went from there on. My husband and I got married, and we decided to study with the Foundation for Shamanic Studies, which was founded by Michael Herner. And we went to their advanced trainings and the initiations and all of that. I've been doing that for a long time, and we've been teaching for the foundation for, I don't know how long, 5 or 6 years, something like that, maybe more than that, but really, really love it. So there's so much overlap, with angels. But beyond that, what began to happen with me was that I started getting, in my journeys and in my dreams, I started getting these, I don't even want to call them nudges. It's more than nudges. It's like when the angels come up and like kind of push you from behind. Okay, I was being pushed to really learn more about working with the angels and to learn about ways to do healing with the angels to help other people. I had no idea I was going to be teaching it, absolutely none, but really nudged in a big way to do it. And so what I decided to do was to ask everybody I knew, if you had the opportunity to work with whoever you would like to work with as a student, to learn about working with the angels, who would you work with? Who would you study with? And every single person, and this was back in time a ways, every single person said, Doreen Virtue, that's who you want to study with. And so I told my husband, I said, well, everybody says we need to study with Doreen Virtue. The angels say I need to learn more. And so it just turned out the first class we took with her was our niece's wedding. It was that weekend, and there was a class in National Harbor, Maryland, the day before the wedding. And so we drove to National Harbor. We took her one-day class there, and then we went to the wedding. So it was kind of perfect. It was my birthday weekend. It was very exciting. And my husband is an engineer, and he is a big skeptic. Well, he used to be a big skeptic. He still is a little bit. But, it's in a good way. So he was skeptical about, going out there and studying with Doreen Virtue and angels and angel cards and all this stuff. We got out of there and got in the car, and we're driving to this wedding in Pennsylvania. And he says to me, that was a really great class. I really liked it. Those cards are good. I think there might be something to this, So he kind of got slightly converted, fairly quickly. And then an interesting thing happened. So I began to work with the angel cards, and I'm going to show you the first deck that I started working with. And this is a deck by Doreen Virtue. It's the Archangel Oracle cards, and they are sadly out of print, but they are wonderful. Every card has a different archangel on it. So what began to happen for me as I would do readings for people, you've got it, yay, I see Timothy's got the deck. What happened was that I just invited everybody I knew to have readings. I said, oh, I'm just learning this, and I would do them for free and all that and get lots of practice. And I just had so much fun with it. And I realized, as much as I love healing, I love working with angels. And so what began to happen was that the angels would show up. So I would get these cards and I would pray over them, and I would pull a card for someone, and the card would be, okay, here's Archangel Gabriel, and I would be telling them about how this card, what it had to do with their question, and here's Gabriel standing here. And so it started to really deepen my connections with the angels, and I highly encourage people to use this deck in that kind of way. Now, you might not see them, you might hear them, you might feel them, you might sense them. For me, I hear their frequency too, and the different archangels have a different frequency from each other. So I've gotten to where I can kind of tell, who's around by what I hear around me. The angel's frequency is much, much higher than ours, and everybody probably knows that who's here. And because of that, we need to keep our frequency high if we're going to work with them. It tends to help. I'll talk to you about ways to do that, but they have to kind of come down to our level. And so a lot of the time when you hear that high-pitched sound, it's super high-pitched sound, that is the angels that you're hearing. You might also see little sparks of light. You might see little circles of light. That's the angels. And that's how I started seeing them in healing sessions, was as circles of light. And they'd have different colors, and I didn't know who was who, but eventually they began to show me more of themselves. So from there, a few months later, after we took that class in Maryland, I woke up in the middle of the night and I was wide awake, and an angel, who I believe to be Archangel Michael, said to me in a very deep and booming voice, as he always does, go down and get on your computer. Now, when it's 3 o'clock in the morning, going down and getting on your computer when you have to work the next day does not sound like a good idea. But I did it anyway, because when Michael talks, I listen. So I came down here. My husband's like, oh my God, what are you doing? But he's good. He tolerates me. So I came down here, turned the computer on, trying to be very quiet, not wake anybody up. And then I heard, go to your email, go to your email. And I was like, okay. So I went to my email, and Doreen Virtue, on a different coast in Hawaii where she lived, had sent out an email, and it said, Angel Intuition, that she was teaching the Angel Intuitive course in Maui on my birthday. Okay, so had my one birthday weekend. A year later, on my birthday, the class started on my birthday, and I have this thing, wonderful things happen on my birthday. I don't know why. It's just a good thing. I'm grateful for it. So I signed my husband and I up for this course, both of us. I paid for it, and I had to rip it out of savings and all that. I paid for it, and I even signed up for a hotel, and didn't tell him. He was sleeping. And I thought, oh boy, I hope this goes okay. The class was in Hawaii, I'd never been to Hawaii. It was a long ways away. God knows how you're going to pay for that. Excuse me. So I'm still wide awake. And all of a sudden I hear this voice again, Archangel Michael's voice, go to Facebook. And I'm like, oh no, not Facebook. I'll never get to sleep, if I go to Facebook. But I went to Facebook. That's what he told me to do. I did it. Right on my Facebook feed, right at the top, Doreen Virtue had just put a post, and it said, if you're having trouble sleeping, call in Archangel Michael and his legion of angels and ask him to place an angel at each window and door of your bedroom, and to bring you a peaceful night's sleep. And I thought, here's this big blue picture of Archangel Michael, you know. That's kind of a coincidence, synchronicity. Okay, more angel stuff. So I went upstairs, got in bed. I called on Archangel Michael and his band of mercy angels. And I said, please put an angel at each window and door. Help me have a peaceful night's sleep. Just knock right out. Got him to put that head down. Bam, those angels showed up and I was knocked out. So that's how I got to my second angelic training. The next day, I was thinking, should I tell my husband this over breakfast? And I got a resounding no. So I worked all day and I stopped at the store and I got stuff to make this really beautiful dinner. Now, my husband knows me really well. So if he shows up from work and there is salmon, okay, and there is asparagus and there is like some kind of chocolate brownies, real gooey ones, there is something that I'm like trying to work on him with, you know. So he sits down there and he looks at that food and he looks at me and he says, what have you done wrong? Clear as day, what have you done wrong? And so I'm like, oh, well, you know, I was up in the middle of the night because the angels told me to, and I found out about this class, the Adoring Virtue again. Oh, good, you know, what class is it? I told him what the class is. Oh, that'll be great, you know, very excited about it. And then he says, and where is the class? And I said, well, it's on my birthday. And he's like, oh, good, it's on your birthday. You know, we can celebrate. Where is the class? And I said, well, the class is in Maui, Hawaii. And he just like doesn't blink an eye. And he says, well, it's a really good thing we have all those frequent flyer miles. So we went to Maui on $50 tickets. And we like ended up getting like Airbnbs or VRBOs and, you know, did it like the cheap way and ate a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables. And I cooked most of the time, except I didn't cook on my birthday, but it was fabulous. So that's how we really got in and really dug in deep in the angelic work with Doreen. And it was wonderful. And we met so many amazing people. And I really kind of took off like a skyrocket after that in the work with the angels. They really got behind me. And I've been at it ever since. We eventually, after that,
this time talk about an archangel.
Okay, an archangel.
One
okay.
archangel.
Oh, so my husband is also the timekeeper, so he's let me know how much time I have. So we later studied with Doreen's son in Sedona as angel teachers, and we studied with him in New Jersey as well. So my husband says I can talk to you about one archangel, and then we have a meditation. What are archangels? Archangels are overseers. They are big angels with big jobs, and they have specialty areas that they like to help us with. Many of you have an archangel as well as your guardian angels with you. Some of you have multiple archangels with you. The archangels, when you get to know them and you begin to work with them, can really help you in some very specific ways. So I'm going to share with you, I have a channeling from Archangel Michael, but I don't think I have time for it right now. I'm going to try to get it in the next segment. I'm going to tell you about Archangel Zadkiel. Does anybody know about Archangel Zadkiel? He is kind of one of the lesser known archangels. He is a major archangel. He's one of the 12, or depending on how you categorize them. So I was doing a healing session with someone right here. So you guys are in my healing room. I love it. I'm so excited we're all in here together. Person was lying on the table on their tummy, and I had my hands on, was doing some Reiki, had some crystals on the body, and had my eyes closed. A lot of the time when I'm working, doing healing, I'll have my eyes closed, and I tend to see a lot and perceive a lot and feel things. But I felt a presence in the room, and I felt it across from me. So I opened my eyes, and there is this gigantic angel across from me. And he has this kind of navy blue color to his aura and to his clothes. And so I just said to him, and this was when I was just beginning to get a little more courageous about things. I just said to him from my mind to his mind, "What is your name?" And he said, "Zadkiel." And I had never heard of him, didn't know who he was. And this was, of course, before I trained with Doreen. And so I said it again. I said, "Oh, could you please repeat that?" And he said it again, "Zadkiel." And he said it kind of quickly, and it just kind of, I couldn't conceptualize that name. It just like, it was foreign to me. And so I asked him one more time. I just said, "Could you please say that one more time, maybe a little more slowly?" And so Zadkiel spells his name out, Z-A-D-K-I-E-L in neon in front of me, boom, like that. And I realized he had a pretty good sense of humor, but I did get his name at that point. And so he communicated with me. And for me, it just tends to be a lot of the time, they just, it's their mind to my mind, and said to me, "I'm here for your client. She needs to do some forgiveness work related to a male family member." So I had no idea about this. And so I said, "Oh, okay, So I tapped the person on their back gently, and I said, "We have a very big angel here, and he tells me that he's here to help you do some healing, some releasing from feelings that you may have held on to related to a male family member." And she starts crying, and she's like, "Oh my God, I know exactly who that is." And so I just kind of am guided by this angel and guiding her through this. And she does her releasing. And then, I'm noticing he's bringing in this violet light into her. Once she's released, and he just kind of moves things out, and he brings this beautiful light into her to kind of fill in the spaces. And she got better, the angels really, really can do some amazing things. And all we have to do is just close our eyes, open our eyes, listen, connect, pay attention. We have to pay attention to everything, because magic can happen. And it can happen in a little split second. Like if I had just still been with my eyes closed, I could feel a presence, but I didn't. I was scared. None of that would have happened.
We have 5 minutes till break.
We have 5 minutes till break. My husband is keeping
time. We're going to do
time.
the meditation start in the second half.
Okay, so we've got a meditation that I'm going to do with you. The angels have told me they want us to connect with guardian angels, and they would also like me to introduce 4 archangels to you and have these angels do some healing with you guys. With me too, I'll be there, all of us together. So we're going to endeavor here in the Zoom world to match up my voice with some music when we do that, when we come back from the break. So just know that you may need to tinker with your sound when that happens, if you need to turn it up so you can hear me, but hopefully it's going to work fine. Let me tell you a little bit about guardian angels. Most of you guys know you've got guardian angels with you. They do come in when you incarnate. They stay with you your entire life. They coach you, they guide you, they can bring you healing, they can bring you opportunities, they can bring helpful people in. There's a lot that you can do with them. And so one of the things that the angels really suggest strongly is that each of us get to know our guardian angels. And Doreen said that everyone has at least one guardian angel. Most people have 2. Some people have 3 or 4. I guess, if you need a little more help, you have more angels. But they are fabulous. And they also, when it's time for us to leave the planet at end of life, they go with us, just like my mom's guardian angel went with her, and they lead us into the light. So we're never alone our entire life. And this time that we're in right now, I know some of you guys feel alone. You know, there is a loneliness to our existence right now. We can't go out. I was just thinking yesterday, we can't go to a concert. We can't go out and dance with people. You know, there's a lot that we can't do, but there is a lot that we can do. And I've got some suggestions from the angels about that, you know, in the second half that I'm going to share with you too. They've been giving me a lot of guidance and especially, you know, related to kind of how we can cope during this time and how we can move forward in what is to come. There's some good things coming. There certainly are. So Jack is telling me it's time for us to take a break right now. So Susan, I know, is going to check on in here. Let me see. Okay.
Come back from break at 8:20.
Okay. There you go, Susan. Mm-hmm.
We'll see you in a few minutes, and thank you everyone for coming. We'll see you shortly.
And how many minutes for the break, Susan?
Yeah, come back at 8:20.
About 8 minutes, maybe 5 to 8 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Thank you. All right,
Thank you.
Stay tuned, you guys. All right, very good.
Okay, welcome back everyone, and thank you, Marcia. Look forward to hearing the second half.
Thank you, Susan.
And we'll end maybe about 9:20 or so. You can have a little extra time to make sure you cover all the information you want to.
Okay.
And then we'll open up the chat box for Q&A.
Okay, thank you,
No
Susan.
change.
Okay. So wanted to talk to you guys about archangels, just a few of them, and we're going to meet them in the meditation. But the kind of number one archangel that is with all light workers actually is Archangel Michael, and he's my business manager. He's awesome. Michael is really the most easily seen, heard, felt, known angel of all. He's very strong and powerful and beautiful and wise. Don't be intimidated by his energy. He has a very powerful energy. But Michael can help us with letting go of fears, releasing what no longer serves us. He has a sword of light and he will cut the cords with it. And I have a channeling from Archangel Michael that I'll read later on, hopefully if we get time for it. He showed up in our bedroom upstairs in the middle of the night and brought me a beautiful infusion of light. So I will share that information with you in a little bit, but just wanted to really encourage each and every one of you to work with Archangel Michael. And you do so with your intention. Intention is very, very key in any type of work with any type of compassionate spirits, but especially angels. You also want to make sure if you've asked Archangel Michael to help you with something that you tell him thank you afterwards. And any of the angels, it's always good to tell them thank you. And Michael is an angel who is a really great angel if you're going on a trip, if you're going on an airplane or, God forbid, a bus or a bit long car ride, anything like that. He is an angel who can help keep you safe when you're traveling. Also, Archangel Raphael, who's the angel of healing, can help keep you safe when you're traveling. But I encourage you to call both of them in. One of the things that I do with Michael every morning, I tend to do it when I'm in the bath, believe it or not, or the shower. Doreen confirmed for us in one of our classes that she found that when she was in water, okay, so in the shower, in a bath, that she was able to connect better with the angels. And that has been my experience as well. So I want to encourage you guys to just try that out. So I do all of my, I connect with spirit. I do a little kind of an affirmation. I connect with great spirit, and I'll say something to the effect of, great spirit, I'm grateful that I embody the qualities of divine love, divine light, divine peace, divine understanding, and so on. I'll kind of go through these different qualities, and then I bring these qualities forward into all of my interactions with others today. And I can just feel that with me throughout the day. And then I will call in Archangel Michael. If no one's around, I might do it out loud, or I might just do it silently from my mind to his mind. And I will call him in, I'll summon him. Archangel Michael, come down, bless and grace me with your presence. And then I will ask Michael to clear me. I do this every single morning. And I ask him to locate, remove, and take to the light any negative energies, any lower energies, anything that does not belong, taking that into the light. And then I will ask Michael to surround me in his shield of protection. And he brings that shield of protection all the way around my entire auric field. And it's either cobalt blue or purple in my experience. Most time for me, it's cobalt blue. And then there's a little layer of gold around that he brings. And I also, after I do that, I ask Archangel Michael to provide that shield of protection around each of my children, because I'm their parent. So if you have children, know that you can do this for your children. Ask Michael to surround them in a shield of protection so that only the energy of absolute love and light is allowed to pass through to them. And he will keep that in place all day and all night. And I do that for my husband too. Then I will just work on my affirmations. I do some positive affirmations, and I ask the blessings of the divine, of great spirit, of the angels, the archangels, and the ascended masters on my affirmations. And I'm going to share just 2 of my affirmations. I have 3 or 4 that I do, but a couple that I really want to encourage you to think about doing. When Jack and I studied with Doreen, one of the things that she said was, and she was very big on positive affirmations, if you don't do anything else with your affirmations, ask for amazingly wonderful health. Because if you don't have your health, there's a lot you don't have. So I'm looking for my water here. Let's see. I've got a Shetland sheepdog right below me. So here is my health affirmation. It's very simple. So I connect with Source, I connect with the angels. Excellent health is mine. Excellent health is mine. Excellent health is mine. I see it, I feel it, I believe it, I imagine it, imagination to reality, and so it is. And I claim it in the now moment, that perfect and radiant health for myself. The second one that I do, no matter how busy I am, okay, I do both of these. Oh gosh, now here's the Siamese cat yelling. The second one is for abundance. And it's very simple again. Unlimited funds, F-U-N-D-S, come to me. Unlimited funds come to me. Unlimited funds come to me. I see it, I feel it, I believe it, I imagine it. Imagination to reality. And so it is. Thank you, God. Thank you, angels. Now, Doreen says, or said, the divine does not intend us to be paupers. We don't have to be in this lifetime. Many of us who are earth angels, many of us who are light workers, we've had other lifetimes where, we took vows of poverty and vows of chastity and all kinds of things. But we don't have to be in that place anymore. And in fact, one of the things that she also said is that once light workers get over any perceived blocks that they may have about abundance, they can become major powerhouses and really get out there and help a lot of people. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to help people. We're here to love people, and we're here to have fun while we're doing it. So want to encourage you to do that one too. because you deserve to be in abundance. Absolutely. Every single one of you. I've been doing that one for a while, and it works beautifully. So we're going to shift gears to a meditation now. And let's go ahead. Jack is going to put the music on for us here.
What's a meditation?
So in this meditation, I'm going to have you guys close your eyes and just relax your bodies and allow yourself to just kind of get transported by the music. And we're going to go on a little journey together with the angels. And the angels just tend to kind of lead me through these meditations. So I will be telling you what the angels are showing me. And what's been interesting to me, I have an angel circle that meets once a month. My angel circle members, some of them, it turns out will see what I'm seeing before I say it. So it's curious. Just notice if that happens. The angels may show us the same things at the same time. So if you need to tinker with the sound on this music and or my voice to be able to hear well, just feel free to do so. All right. So let's get comfortable in your chair where you are and just relax your body and allow your chair to just physically just support you completely. And let's close your eyes. And let's take a long, slow, deep, easy breath in. Breathing in love and light. On the out breath, breathe out anything you need to let go of. On your in breath, breathe in peace and serenity. And on the out breath, just let everything go. And allow yourself to relax your body from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes, allowing any stress from the day just to fall away. Breathing nice and slow and easy. And imagine yourself now walking slowly and gently forward on a beautiful, sparkly, pink pathway of light. The path is illumined for us, and the angels are awaiting us. Come down that sparkly pathway, down a little curve, and come up a little hill, and out, beautiful, expansive place of light and love. See yourself coming to the center of this place, illumined by the light of the divine. And in this beautiful space, let us call to ourselves now with our intention, our guardian angel. Guardian angel, come down, bless and grace each one of us with your loving presence. And allow yourself to feel your guardian angel standing right in front of you. Perhaps you might look into her eyes with yours. Perhaps you might feel her beautiful energy or his beautiful energy. Allow yourself to place your hands into the hands of your guardian angel as he or she bring you an infusion of pure, unconditional love. And if you would like, ask your guardian angel, what is your name? Beautiful guardian angel, what is your name? And ask your guardian angel, do you have a message for me? Guardian angel, bring me a message, please. And allow yourself to notice, to perceive. whatever you see or hear or feel or know. This being of love and light came with you when you were born, when you incarnated on this planet, and they know you better than anyone. Allow yourself to give your guardian angel a great big hug right now. And just feel their energy, feel their love coming from their heart to your heart. And if you wish, ask your guardian angel, beautiful guardian angel, I ask to deepen my connection with you, to hear you and see you and feel you and know your guidance, your love, your support, to feel that every single day. Let that guardian angel know it is my desire to know you more completely, to communicate with you more clearly and more deeply. And give that guardian angel your gratitude for serving you in this special way. And now in this beautiful place, let us call to us now some amazing archangels, angels that are here to help each and every one of us. Let us call right in front of us now, Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael, come down. Bless and grace each one of us with your beautiful presence. And allow yourself to feel the strength, the support, the power, the courage, and the protection of this angel. He is with you for a very sacred purpose. He is here to help you grow as a light worker, to fulfill your divine purpose on the planet. Allow yourself to look deeply into his energy, into his face. Feel his energy. Allow yourself to ask Archangel Michael now to bring you a healing by severing a cord of fear that you may have. It may be a fear about finances. It could be a fear about relationships or intimacy or career. Whatever it is, you know what it is. Whatever you're ready to let go of, that fear that's been nagging at you. Let's go ahead right now and let's ask Archangel Michael. Just repeat after me. Archangel Michael, I lovingly and willingly request that you now sever this cord of fear that I have identified. Oop, there he goes. And he severs it with his beautiful sword of light. And he clears a little bit of debris there. And now let us ask Archangel Michael to formally surround each one of us with his shield of protection right now. Archangel Michael, I lovingly request that you surround me with your shield of protection in beautiful, vivid cobalt blue or purple, and I am grateful. And now see yourself giving Archangel Michael a great big hug. Tell him thank you. And now let us call to us one more angel. A beautiful, beautiful angel. Archangel Raphael. With our intention, Archangel Raphael, come down. Bless and grace each one of us with your presence and your assistance. And allow yourself to feel and sense and see and hear and know the loving presence of this angel. His name means he who heals or healer of God. And let's, with our intention, request that Archangel Raphael brings each of us his beautiful emerald green healing light. So let's ask him right now. Archangel Raphael, we ask that you bring your green healing light into each one of us now. And he places one hand on your heart and one hand right on the top of your head, healing our mind, healing our body. And allow yourself to just drink in that emerald green healing light that he is bringing you. Drinking that emerald green healing light into all the cells of your body, into all the organs of your body, to the bones, to the tissues, to all the aspects of who you are on a physical level. Bringing that emerald green healing light all the way into your mind, into your brain, bringing it out into your emotional body, bringing that emerald green healing light into your energetic body through all your chakras, balancing the chakras, and bringing it all the way out into your entire auric field, just cleansing and clearing and healing the aura, strengthening it, bringing it into a state of radiant health and balance. And see yourself now thanking Archangel Raphael for that healing. And give him a great big hug too. These angels love hugs just like we do. And now see yourself in a circle of love with your guardian angel, Archangel Raphael, and Archangel Michael. The four of you are connected by a bond of love. And if you wish, you can ask Michael and Raphael now. Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael, I place my intention now to deepen my relationship with both of you, to deepen my connections with you, to feel, perceive, hear, sense, know your presence, your communication with clarity. Thank you for being on my team. Thank you for being partners with me as I move through my life. And I am grateful. And see yourself now, slowly and gently, saying goodbye for now to that beautiful sacred space, that space of pure love and light. See yourself coming down that little hill, down that pathway of pink light, following it down around a curve, all the way coming down a straightaway, coming all the way back, slowly and gently coming into the room where you are, coming all the way back into your physical body, into here and now, coming all the way back, breathing yourself back in, more whole, more well, more healed, and more supported. You are beloved by the divine, by the angels, and you are supported by them. And when you are ready, allow yourself to wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers and wiggle your nose and open your eyes and come all the way back into here and now. Yeah, I hope everybody was able to hear that okay. So when I do angel circles, it's a different angel every time. You know, there's so many of them. There are hundreds of archangels. Isn't that beautiful? And they all have so many different beautiful jobs, different ways they can help us. I want to touch very quickly on other helpers. We also have spirit guides who are in a human form, and these are folks who existed on the planet in a human incarnation, maybe lots of them before us, and they are here with us to help us. We also have ancestral spirits who are in our lineage, grandparents and aunts and uncles and great-grandparents, and especially during this time of the pandemic, the ancestors are looking after us pretty closely and really do want to help keep us safe. We also have our spirit guardians, our spirit helpers. I see a cat spirit helper over there with Smith. The spirit guardians are wild animals generally, and they bring us protection and guidance and healing. And so we tend to, when we do angel therapy sessions, we tend to see a lot of these different beings, and they're all wonderful. And it's safe to work with them. Now, the one thing that, well, you've already done it, you've already connected with Michael, but you can always, if you're ever unsure about a spirit that's come to you, you can always call in Archangel Michael and just ask him. You know, he calls himself Big Mike to me, so I would just say, Big Mike, you know, is this, you know, wolf over here on the up, you know, swing, are they like safe for me to work with? And Michael will tell you. And you can ask Michael to be your gatekeeper, so that any kind of spiritual work that you do, whether you go out and you do astral projection or, you know, whatever, he will watch over you and he will keep you safe no matter what. He's fabulous for that. So let's see where to go from here. I do have a channeling from Michael. Would you guys like to hear the channeling from Michael? This might be Michael night. It kind of feels like it. Okay, I'm seeing some heads nod here. So, this channeling from Michael came through at 12:12 a.m. I woke up and looked at the clock, and there was this incredible, beautiful cobalt blue being on my husband's side of the bed. He was so bright, he looked like he was lit from within. Like the brightest flashlight you could think of, just lit from within. Of course, it was a dark room in the middle of the night. And this was back in March when the whole pandemic was kind of first cranking up, you know, in our part of the country. And, you know, I don't know whether he noticed that I was starting to get a little anxious about things or what, but he brought this message through, I believe, not just for me, I believe it's for everybody. And so I'll just read to you from my notes. I was awakened by a bright cobalt blue light on the side of the bed by Jack, my husband. And Archangel Michael was there, full body. His sword was glimmering in the darkness. And he touched my crown, the top of my head, with his sword. And brilliant white light just came shooting through my whole being, my whole body, mind, spirit, everything. And I was just resonating with it. And what follows here are his words, and these words are for you. Gird yourself, my child, in the power of the light. Your faith is stronger than any perceived adversity. Feel us around you, surrounding you with the fullness of our wings. We uplift you with our love. We support you with our strength. The courage of a legion of angels echoes through your spirit into the hearts of men. We implore you at this crucial time to bring our voice of truth to the forefront of all those who have ears to hear and eyes to see. Our ultimate purpose is love. Our ultimate purpose is peace. May each of you know to the very depths of your being that you are messengers of this eternal truth. We task you with bringing the chorus of our voices into the knowing of all who will receive them. You are eternal beings, just as we, the angels, are. The light within you will not die, but will shine on into an eternity of divine existence. Do not be afraid of what tomorrow may bring. Allow the sword of truth to illumine your mind with hope and boldness. Allow the shield of protection that we have placed with each one of you to bring you fearlessly through the darkest nights and into the knowing that your path is in every moment guided by the light, the power, the grace, and the wisdom of the divine. You are so deeply loved. Yours truly, Archangel Michael and the Legion of Light. So, it was beautiful. I've connected with Michael many times, but I have never seen him as clearly and felt that kind of it was a download of light that he brought into me, and heard him as clearly. So once I received this, I dashed off into the bathroom and wrote furiously in my journal. And this is my angel journal. And I keep it by the bed. And when the angels wake me up in the middle of the night, you guys know how that goes. I know you guys get those wake up calls. They're wake up calls from the angels. They're telling you something important. Write it down. Write it down. Sometimes it's not just for us. Sometimes it's for lots of people. And one of the ways the angels will communicate with us is to literally show up like that. Another is to show up in our dreams. And I have a lot of information that comes through in the dream time, and I know a lot of you guys do too. Pay attention to your dreams, especially now. This is one thing that angels keep saying. Tell everybody, pay attention to your dreams. Your dreams are teachers for you. Yes, sometimes we're processing fears in our dreams and all of that, but they are also providing you with guidance to help keep you safe right now. This is a time when we're really in this kind of root chakra energy of just really surviving, on the planet. And we have to use our good brains and we have to use our intuition. We got to use both. And it's very, very important. Pay attention to what they bring you in your dreams and ask them for guidance in your dreams. If there's something you need help with before you go to sleep, you don't have to ask for a particular one. Just sit there on the edge of your bed and say, angels, please bring me guidance tonight in my dreams about whatever it is. You can also ask them for healing during your sleep. Angels, please bring me healing tonight. And you can call, excuse my husband's phone, you can call especially for Archangel Raphael and the angels of healing. And what Raphael tells me is that when we're asleep, our mind is really kind of relaxed. We're just, zoned out, and our body is in its most relaxed state. And so during that time, they can bring us these downloads of healing that are very, very powerful. And sometimes people have had dramatic healings from doing just that.
So, Marcia, what could the
Yes.
angels tell us about 2021?
Oh,
Get the cards out.
my husband is here. He's asking me to tell you guys about 2021, what the angels have to say. Now, I have a whole lot of stuff written down that they've told me, but I think we're going to get some cards out. Who wants angel cards? You guys want some angel cards? Yeah,
Get
yeah.
the cards out.
Okay, yeah, okay, angel cards. So one of the ways we can connect beautifully with angels is through angel cards. And Doreen Virtue created a lot of them, but lots of people have created some beautiful angel cards. Kyle Gray's cards are fabulous. So the deck that I have right now is, let me show you the book. This is actually under Radley Valentine's name now, but this is the Archangel Power Tarot. And that is my go-to deck that I use when people have important questions where we really need some good information. So I'm going to ask the angels to bring us some guidance about what we need to know about, be aware of, or do related to 2021. Okay, we're almost through this year, thank goodness. So let's see what the angels say about next year. So let's close our eyes. I'm going to say a quick little prayer over these cards. Great Spirit, Mother, Father, God, beautiful angels, archangels, ascended masters, compassionate helping spirits, spirit teachers, spirit guides of the light, guardian angels. We call you all into this place and time for the purpose of providing your loving guidance for each and every one of us listening and or watching this event tonight, either live or later on in rebroadcast. What do we need to know about, all of us? What do we need to know about, be aware of, or do related to this new year of 2021 that is coming up soon? And we call upon Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Gabriel for clear messages, Raziel, Raguel, Metatron, Sandalphon, and a holy host of others. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. So, I'm trying to pull 3 cards, but then this 4th one kind of wants to come out too. So here we go. Oh, I can see it's going to be a better year. It's going to be a better year. So the first card comes to us from Archangel Gabriel. And Gabriel is the angel of communication. And Gabriel says, this year hasn't been all bad. There's been a lot of hardship. Granted, there has. But this has been a year when you've been able to kind of figure out a lot of things about yourself. Some of you have been in the quiet more. Some of you have been able to meditate a little bit more. Some of you have been able to connect with the angels more. So Gabriel says, coming into this new year, it's going to be time to get creative. And those little projects that have kind of been in the back of your mind, you've kind of been thinking, oh, I might like to do that. I kind of have an interest in this. This is going to be the time early in this new year to act upon those thoughts, those little beginnings of plans to step into that new creation, whatever it may be. Maybe you're going to start a new business. Maybe you're going to take a class. You're going to learn something new. You're going to have, some type of a joint venture with some other people. The resources for that are just going to show up. You don't even worry about it because it's all going to just pan out beautifully. It's a very wonderful card. This is the Empress. It's number 3. Now, I am not a tarot expert, but that is a pretty darn fine card. So I'm going to hold it up here so you can see it. And I will put these on my Facebook business page, Messages from Moon, so you'll be able to go there and look at them if you want. Now, the second card for next year, 2021, comes from Archangel Raphael, the healing angel. And Raphael says, you're going to be able to kind of be in the catbird seat in some ways, in that you've had this time of maybe some more introspection, having to be an introvert, even if you're not, being stuck at home. And so the angels are going to ask you to kind of bring your heart forward and come forward into the future. So this will be kind of springtime. Know that there are some beautiful things that you can create related to your home, related to your family, related to your loved ones, related to what you love to do, following your passions. Now, the angels say, if you do what you love and you love what you do, you are golden. And so they're kind of saying that with this card. Do those things that really make you happy and build upon those. There is going to be a time where the conditions are going to be right for you to do that. Now on this card, the Queen of Raphael is holding like a pitchfork. And you think about Poseidon, you know, with the pitchfork, there's probably a different name for it, but I feel like, you know, the Queen has this because she's got the tool that she needs to be able to get what she wants. And Raphael is telling you that. Now, you got to come from the heart, though. You got to come from what you love to do. The other thing about this card that I'm noticing, of course, it is a healing card, so there's going to be some healing for you around this whole process. There are two beautiful animals jumping up out of the water, and they are dolphins. And the dolphins are all about having fun. And Raphael says, again, it's not just what you like to do or you're passionate about. Have a big old good time about it. Laugh and just have some fun. Things are going to get better next year. They absolutely are. My husband says he thinks April, you know, things are going to shift. So know that. And also, again, trust your intuition. Here it comes again. The angels say, trust the psychic information that you receive from God, from the angels, from your helping spirits. It's very valid, and it's going to help you kind of figure out what that is that you're destined to do. All those fun things. So focus on the fun.
Card first.
Okay. Next card is the New Beginnings card. And this would be kind of summer, you know, early fall. This card is from Archangel Jeremiel. And Archangel Jeremiel is an angel of life review. He helps us to look back on everything that's happened to us in our life. And then he can help us to kind of make a plan to move forward. And with this card, he's showing this beautiful family. And they're out in the mountains and they're holding hands. It's a mom and a dad and a brother and a sister, or, you know, some combination thereof, or two dads or two moms. And this little family is joined. They're in unity. Now, this could be you and your family, your nuclear family. This could be you and a family of other people who love to do what you do. Okay, this could be a group of professionals who are working together. This card from Jeremiel is saying, you're starting a new life. Things are going to begin again. Things are going to start anew, and it's going to be better than ever. So again, we're getting into late summer, fall. And Jeremiel is also saying, you're going to be able to look back on what's happened in 2020 with a more compassionate eye, okay, with a more compassionate heart towards yourself, maybe towards others. And it's gonna, in some ways, maybe seem part of it like a bad dream, but we are gonna get past this time and it's gonna be better. There is because this is from Jeremiel, he also is an angel who likes to work on forgiveness issues. And so he's saying, you know, if there's any forgiveness work you need to do, you know, this would be a good time to do it. And it may be about forgiving yourself for something. I know some of us can get grumpy in a pandemic, not you guys, but my brother-in-law, my sister says, can be a little grumpy. It's a hard time. So one more. So this feels like later on in the year. Fall, late fall, winter, kind of moving into winter. So this card comes to you from Archangel Gabriel. And this is a very high card. It's a very wonderful card. And Archangel Gabriel says, as you come into late 2021, you are going to have the potential to toot your own horn. Now, you know what Gabriel does. Gabriel plays that golden horn, or it could be made out of copper. I'm wearing copper, and that's Gabriel's metal. Gabriel is all about speaking your truth, getting your voice out there. So this could be something like, if you're led to write a book, write that book, get it out there late next year. If you haven't started writing it, by golly, start writing it. If you've already written it, get that book out there into the world. Same thing if you're a musician, if you're a painter. I know Caitlin's here. Caitlin's a painter. Get your work out there. And Timothy's a painter. Awesome. Get your work out there. It's time to really sing your song and sing it loud so that everybody can hear it, because you're not just singing your song, you're singing the song of the angels, you're singing the song of the universe, and it's a song that will awaken things in others' hearts. Again, there's a focus here on following your passion, big opportunities coming, allowing yourself to inspire others and be inspired by others, and just to really have a sense of wonderment. I feel us feeling freer towards the end of next year. Feeling kind of not bogged down, but also that feeling of just deep connection with our fellow man, with the angels and with the divine. So here is that chord. You can see Gabriel tooting her horn right there. Gabriel's one of my faves. Gabriel's right beside me a lot. So I know that was fast. I think that's good.
So you're going to tell us about.
So Jack's telling me what to tell you about, so we can get everything.
Angelic Reiki.
A little bit of, okay.
A little schedule, and then a closing prayer.
Okay. So I want to run two angels by you very quickly that you might not know about. Very quickly. I know, very quickly, Jack. Archangel Seraphiel, Seraphiel, is an angel who showed up in my bathroom right before I did my radio show one day and said, talk about me, and gave me a message. So I have a channeling from her. I won't share it because I don't have time. But she is an angel of devotion, of purification. And her message is for us to keep the faith, that we are, during this time of transformation, we are an awakening. We're holding the space for the transformation. And she encourages us to release our worries and fears and anger and confusion that we may feel on a personal level to the angels. And she will help us with that if we call her in exchange for peace and focus and awareness of our oneness with everybody and the angels. She says that we were light workers before we were born, okay? We came into this incarnation knowing that all these things were getting ready to happen, and we're here on this mission at this time to spread the truth of our mission into the world to help others. There are so many just like you guys. There are so many of us. We're back in the awakening process, beginning to kind of, can anybody relate to that? I kind of did. I remember that. Yeah. It's hard, at first. So this angel Seraphiel, her crystal is a garnet or amber. If you want to work with her, that can strengthen your connection. She helps you to let go of your worries, brings calmness to your mind, can help you to get deeper in your spiritual path and clear blockages and things like that. So one other angel I'm going to tell you about real quick, lesser known angel, Archangel Nathaniel. His name is Thaniel. Nathaniel's name means gift of God. And Charles Virtue, that Jack and I studied with, has a very deep connection with Nathaniel. I saw Nathaniel when I was there in angel teacher training. He's very red. His color is very deep red. He's a very fiery angel. And he is an angel of transformation. If you are to a point where you feel like you want him to get behind you and not just nudge you, but push you forward and move things out of the way that may be, potentially quote unquote blocking your path, you're on your divine path, he will do that for you. But don't ask him unless you really want him to do it, because he comes full force forward. Now, if he comes on too heavy, you can ask him to back it down a little bit. So remember that. Nathaniel will help us to stop procrastinating. Anybody relate to procrastination? Yeah. He can help us move forward. And he says there are no obstacles, there are only perceptions of obstacles. Okay. There are lots of shifts and transformations going on in the world right now. He can help us to navigate those and to be able to kind of ride those waves. One of the things he likes to help us focus on is allowing happiness into our lives so that we can be more peaceful and happy ourselves and share our lessons and gifts with others. He assists with assimilating the accelerations in consciousness on the planet. Anybody relate to that? Big time, happening everywhere. He encourages us right now during this time to stay grounded. He says grounding is absolutely essential. Get your black tourmaline, get your, all those black stones and, red ones too. Let's see. He also is an angel who can help release things from us. He's connected to the sun energy and star energy. He's only been known about on the planet the last 50, 75 years, something like that. But again, be very clear about your intentions if you decide you want to work with him. He is fabulous. I've been working with him for a while, and he is wonderful. I love him. So I just had to share him with you, even though Jack told me I might not have time. So, all right, Jack.
You might tell people what classes they could take with you over the next little bit of time, 2 minutes.
Sure. So we just got a couple minutes. Jack's asking me to let you know that we teach several different angelic classes as well as shamanic classes, and I teach Reiki. I teach angelic Reiki. I traveled to England to study with the co-founder of angelic Reiki, and it is very high frequency. It's about 90% angels and 10% Reiki. The angels do the attunements, and it's very, it's powerful. It's quite different. And the work is very, very sacred. Reiki is very sacred, in my opinion. But the angelic Reiki, you're really becoming one with the angels, and a lot of magic can happen. I've seen some beautiful healings from it. So we are teaching that, and you can find all the information about our classes on our website, onelightcenter.com. We're teaching a class in angel card reading, a certification training. It's 12/12. We have one space in Durham, and January 24th, we have 4 spaces online on Zoom, and that's angel card reading certification. We have a class on December 13th, a Sunday, on the shamanic journey, pathway to knowledge and power. It's a foundation for shamanic studies online class on Zoom, and it's really fun. It's kind of a fast track journeying class. We have on the 16th, 17th, and 18th of April, Angel Intuition and Healing certification training online on Zoom. I put this on for Susan. She wanted to take it. We also have Angelic Reiki level 1 and 2 in April. So you'll find all that on the website, and there's all kinds of information about it. So I have a prayer to share with you that was given to me, like everything else that I seem to get in the middle of the night, if I can find my book, Jag, here it is. So I was told by the angels that the title of this prayer is Light Workers Prayer. And this is for each and every one of you. You guys are light workers. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. So let's just close our eyes a little minute. And let's take a long, slow, deep, easy breath in. We send our love and our gratitude to the angels. So here is the prayer. Great Spirit, Mother, Father, God, beautiful archangels, angels of the light, compassionate helping spirits, spirit guides of the light, guardian angels, spirit teachers, ascended masters, make of us in every moment vessels of divine love. May we embody the pure power and grace of absolute goodness, carrying it forward into the lives of all those that we meet. May the light of love transform us and transform our world, challenging us all to know that we are the living embodiment of spirit. May each of us live in the holy space of divine truth, and may the gift of divine awareness bring us peace, possibility, wholeness, and freedom. May the light of 1,000 candles of pure transcendence shine through our hearts and our minds and our eyes. When our world seems harsh, may we be the shining examples of absolute grace in action. May the voice of God speak through each of us freely and without reservation. May we be courageous and wise co-creators with Source, bridging the gift of pure potentiality with inspired acts of compassion. May the light of divine faith so illumine our hearts that in the face of perceived darkness, we remember in every moment the truth of our divine purpose on earth. Help us to pave the road that we all travel together with hope and joy. Challenge us to create and maintain loving communities of light, for we may work more strongly and diligently together than we ever could in isolation. May divine wisdom guide us as activists of light to listen to and act upon the guidance we receive from Spirit. And may we know without a shadow of a doubt that we are all one family, one light, one breath of unending divine communion. We are the candle in the dark. We are the light of 1,000 dawns. This is a part of how we will change the world. And so it is. So, all right. I've got so much more. I could do this another 2 hours. The angels love us all so much. I hope you can feel their love right now. Yeah. let's bring our hands up and let's connect again. Close your eyes once you get your hands up there. Take that pretty picture off, put your real face on there. Allow yourself to connect your right hand with the hand of someone else who is in this circle. And connect your left hand with the hand of someone else who is in this circle. And with your eyes closed, feel the connection that you have with every single individual here. And with the angels, the guardian angels of each of us, the archangels, the ascended masters, circles and circles of angels emanating out from this circle. Hundreds of angels here to support us as we walk our path. We do not walk this path alone. We walk this path with support, with each other, with our community, and with the angels. We are so loved. And so it is. Now bring your hands down, palms up, put them down to your sides, eyes closed. Connect that right palm to the palm of the person to your right in this circle. Connect your left palm to the palm of the person to your left in this circle. And again, feel your connection with all these beautiful light workers, all these earth angels. So much love here. Each of us going forward on a very, very special path. All of us, we checked in for this job. It's a challenge, but it's a joyful job. Know that you're not alone. You've got each other here. All of us have each other. Very good. So, I think we've got about 10 minutes maybe for questions and answers. And I'm going to ask Susan to help us with that.
Yes, thank you so much, Marcia. I think everybody received lots of energy and love and information that we can continue through the next year with and learn more. So thank you. And thank you everyone for coming. So I did open the chat box. So y'all are welcome to ask your questions. Jack, you're welcome to read them to her. Or the first one is from how do we keep our frequency high? This is from Chuck, and you can do it to everyone instead of privately. And so how do we keep our frequency high?
Very good question, Chuck. Yeah. So I have some guidance that I wrote down, and I just like to read this for you guys on kind of pushing through, moving through this time that we're in. And a lot of this guidance relates to frequency, actually. So I'll share it right now with you. I've already talked about being connected with the earth, working with the angels. The angels say we don't have to put our divine purpose on hold because we're in the middle of a pandemic. So we really want you to hear that. Your divine purpose does not need to be put on hold. This is a time for learning, for growing, for music. Music can help us keep our vibration high, introspection, meditation. The angels tell me that sunlight is very important right now for us in keeping our frequency up. There are light codes that are coming in, and so we need to be outside and be taking that sunlight in. They also suggest that we get out and get into the forest. We connect with the trees and the plants, the sky, the earth, and we are so supported in these beautiful places in nature. There's so much love for us there. Very important to be in nature. The angels say, stay off the TV, stay off the news. you can get, your 5 minutes on your phone or, whatever, but don't just sit there and watch TV and watch the news. It brings your frequency all the way down, and it's discouraging. And we tend to kind of get down and stay there. So stay off of there. Eat a very healthy diet if you can. It's harder, when you're on a budget, but lots of fresh, healthy vegetables and fruits, really, really good. You need some protein, obviously, but a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables will help keep your frequency high. You can work with crystals and stones, and that will keep your frequency high as well. You can also, the angels want you to know that using the positive affirmations will help to keep your frequency up. They say, let go of guilt, do your forgiveness work, nurture yourself, allow yourself to receive and be in spiritual community. So we're going to move on. Jack says another question. Anybody have another question? Let's see, Susan.
Yes, so we've got, let's see, can you make your intentions for someone else or for your pets? And this is from Kelly.
Oh, Kelly. So you certainly, if they're your pets, you can make intentions for them. Absolutely. And you can, I like to do that with gratitude, great spirit, angels, especially I call in Archangel Raphael, St. Francis. I'm grateful that my pet is in absolute radiant and perfect health. Please bring me whatever guidance I need in order to take the absolute best care of them. I do a lot of healing work with pets and animal communication, and they respond really great to angels. Jesus likes to help with the pets, the dogs and the cats and the parrots. St. Francis, who else? Ariel, Archangel Ariel helps with pets. Raphael, of course, and Michael helps with pets. Michael helps with any kind of healing. So, yeah.
But can I do intentions for other people?
Can you do intentions for other people? No, we don't want to mess with anybody else's free will. Our intentions, our affirmations need to be for us. But for our pets, we can do that, certainly. Yeah. Don't violate anybody's free will. Unless they ask you for help with it. If they ask you for help, that's a whole different thing.
Right.
Yeah. Is there another question?
Someone is asking, Janet is asking, what is the pendant you are wearing? Lovely, especially with the blouse.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. So this is Angel Aqua Aura Quartz. And my husband gave it to me actually for birthday or something like that. Anniversary, I think it was. And this is an Angel Aqua Aura Quartz. And it's very, very sweet. Very high frequency. Now what they do with these though, this is a clear quartz that they have treated with, I believe this one is with platinum. Sometimes they'll treat them with gold and then they heat them up. So this is not natural. It's not how they occur when they come out of the earth, but the angels tell me they're very, very good to work with. I have one right at my desk actually. So I love it a whole lot.
Great.
And stones and crystals are really fabulous to work with. Celestite will raise your vibration and help you to connect with the angels. It's my all-time favorite stone, named after my guardian angel. I'm teasing. Angel light is also a really good one to work with.
Great.
Yeah.
We have two questions that are kind of similar, one from Timothy and one from Chuck. Timothy says, you mentioned saying a prayer for protection for your children. What about what archangel or group of archangels would you ask for protection and help for your mother? ? My mom was recently diagnosed with cancer and it's been hard. And then Chuck's question is, tell us about your story about your hospice work a little more. So those kind of may go hand in hand.
Yeah. Timothy, I'm sorry about your mom. So I would have to have mom's permission. Okay, certainly get her permission. But I would want Archangel Michael to surround her in a shield of protection every day. And you can, as long as you have her permission, you can do that. You can ask him to do that. The other thing I would do for your mom is I would call in Archangel Raphael with her permission again and ask Raphael and the angels of healing to come to your mom. I would say during her sleep. This is what the angels keep telling me. The healing during the sleep time is really the deepest. But get her on board with it. You got to have her permission. I also would ask Jesus to help with her. He's an ascended master, and he comes into my healing sessions. He's wonderful. You don't have to be aligned with any particular type of religion to work with him. I also would call in Ariel, Archangel Ariel, who is a healer as well. Yeah. And Chuck's question about hospice, one of my experiences with hospice, I was sitting with an elderly lady who had dementia, who was getting ready to transition to the light. And I was very sad because she didn't have any family. And I was worried that she was going to die alone in this nursing home where there was no one there to hold her hand. Very sweet little lady. I sang to her. I was known as a singing social worker of all things because I sang to my patients and I would get them to sing. Even the ones with dementia would, they would spring into action and start singing old hymns with me. And I loved it. It cheered them up and it cheered me up to sing to them. So I was sitting there with her, this lady who I had been singing with for a few weeks as she was gradually kind of dwindling with her health and moving towards end of life. And I was recognizing the signs that she was getting ready to transition. And I had called our nurse. And so I was sitting there beside her and I just started praying. I was just led to pray for her. And, I asked the divine to, is there someone you can bring to be with this woman so that she doesn't have to die alone? Now, this relates to COVID right now because so many have, quote unquote, died alone because of COVID. But this particular lady, it was old age really and dementia. And just as I put that prayer out there, I had my eyes closed and I felt a presence in the room. And I opened my eyes, and right on the end of her bed, there was a beautiful angel who had kind of a feminine presence, but not strongly feminine. And dark hair and this beautiful kind of golden and ivory colors around her. And she looked right into my eyes and she said, "My dear, don't you know that no one dies alone?" She said, "I am with every single person when it's time for them to go to the light. And I help them to get, basically to heaven, to the heaven realm." And it was so beautiful. And I felt all this love and compassion from her coming towards me and towards the lady who was beside me there. And it was a great comfort to me that indeed none of us will ever die alone. And that was Archangel Azrael. And her name is spelled Azrael. And some people refer to Azrael as the angel of death. Now, she doesn't care if people call her that, but she's a lot more than that. Azrael comforts people who are moving towards end of life. She helps them do their life review. She comforts people who have lost loved ones, people who are grieving, brings them healing, brings them comfort, brings them support. And she also helps us to mourn what has passed. It may be like a divorce or something like that, losing a job. Very wonderful angel. Don't ever be afraid to work with her. She is fabulous, just absolutely wonderful angel. So yeah, does that answer that question?
Yes, that was a great story. Thank you so much.
You're
We have
welcome.
time for probably one more, and this one is from Laura. When saying a prayer to the angels, does it make a difference when you read a script, or is it better when you just speak directly? If that makes sense, because you did give us a lot of wonderful affirmations to say, I am, and all these things to say, kind of in rote, like you would rotely. On your website, do you have PDFs or tools that people can use on your website to download Archangel Michael's message to us, or what do you have?
So Archangel Michael's message is on my website. If you go to onelightcenter.com and you click on news, and you'll have to just scroll down a little bit, but it's right there. And I welcome you guys to look at it and share it, you know, just in its entirety, just as it is. It came from him. It did not come from me. It just, you know, rolled on through. So
the question is, should we like read from something or just speak directly to them, I guess?
So I have a way that I do it, but that's just my way. That's not the only way. So your way, whatever feels right to you, okay, your intention, you speak that intention, what it is you would like them to do for you, and it'll be absolutely perfect. It doesn't have to be any kind of fancy way, okay? But I will tell you, when you're doing angel card readings or angelic readings, the angels really love prayers and they respond to prayers. And it's funny, when I do expos and things, I haven't done any for a while because of the pandemic, but I've had people come over and say, are you praying when you do that? And I'm like, well, yeah, you know, this is, we're doing an angel reading here. This is very special, sacred work. And we're asking for the help of the divine. And an angelic reading is very different from, you know, just like having a psychic reading. Psychic readings are really fun, but angelic readings, we're doing spiritual counseling, you know, we're asking for guidance from the angels. Sometimes we do, you know, some healing work. And so it can be, you know, much more complex, but it's very different, you know, and it's fun. I love doing it. It's my all-time favorite thing to do. So
Okay,
I
thank
feel
you.
really blessed.
Yeah, we're kind of out of time now. Someone wanted to know, is there an angel named Maribel? Maribel. That was the
There is an angel named Mirabelle.
Maribel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's so much information we all need to learn. I mean, it just goes on and on and on.
It
So I'm
does.
excited about your class in April. Thank you
Thank
for
you. That's for you.
Thank you. I'm excited about
whoever else. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So just, you know, go to her website. Thank you everybody for coming, and thank you, Marcia and Jack, behind the scenes guy.
Here he is, my other half, my better half.
Yeah.
So
there were a lot of in the chat box. There were a lot of thank yous too, Marcia. I just
thank
say
you
them out loud.
guys. So if anybody would like to come to our angel circle, it is held on the fourth Wednesday night of the month at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. And if you'd like to come to it, you'll find there's a group called Angels of Light of the Triangle. It's on Meetup, and you can go there and sign up for it, and you'll get reminders of when it is. You can also just go to my website, and up at the top on the right, there's a contact button. You hit that contact button and then just put in your email and say, I'd like to get information on your angel circle. And then I'll send you the links and everything so you can get to it pretty easily. But we have the nicest group of people. And every month we, you know, learn about a different angel or a different aspect of working with angels. And it's $10, and half of what comes in goes to a charity. And we have a different charity each month. Last time I think was the North Carolina Food Bank. So I'm still a social worker. I'm still doing social work, but you know, I really want to encourage all of you right now, please help the hungry. There are a lot of people who don't have what they need. You know, donate to the food banks, you know, take them some cans, whatever you can do. A lot of children right now who don't have what they need. So remember those less fortunate, because there are lots, and pray for them. You know, I worked with kids for a lot of years, and my heart is really with them. So thank you all so much.
And I hope to see everybody next month with for our astrology 2021 with our astrologer. So you'll go to our website. We have it on there. You can sign up for that meeting. So thank you so much for everyone who's come.
Thank you, Susan. We appreciate you so much.
You're very welcome.
A whole lot. Om Namaste, you guys. Many, many blessings. Have a wonderful rest of your week.
Right.